WWE Universe witnessed something truly wild. Brock Lesnar, the Beast himself, unleashed pure chaos backstage in an epic and brutal confrontation with Bronson Reed. This wasn't just another wrestling feud. It was a shocking moment of raw, unfiltered intensity that caught everyone off guard. Fans and superstars alike were left speechless as Lesnar's fury tore through the backstage area, leaving Bronson Reed battered and broken. The colossal powerhouse, who was quickly rising in WWE, suddenly found himself facing the full wrath of the Beast. This unexpected and violent clash has set social media on fire, with fans scrambling for answers. What sparked this savage attack? And what does it mean for the future of both men? The WWE world is buzzing, and the story is far from over. A predator in the shadows, Brock Lesnar's savage assault on Bronson Reed. Imagine the scene. The corridors behind the curtain, usually a bustling hive of preparation and excitement, suddenly turning into a war zone. Staff members, producers, security, and even superstars scattered toward the source of the noise, their faces masks of disbelief and panic. There, standing with an expression of unbridled rage that could freeze the blood of anyone who laid eyes on him, was Brock Lesnar. His eyes wild, muscles tense, veins bulging beneath his skin. Pinning Bronson Reed against a production crate like a caged predator sizing up his prey, Brock's aggression was undeniable. Bronson Reed, the Colossal, as he's known to fans and insiders, is no stranger to violence. A towering powerhouse who's bulldozed through the competition with his signature blend of raw strength and tenacity, Bronson looked like he was facing a beast far beyond anything he had encountered before. Reed tried to fight back. He swung, he shoved, he roared, his voice full of fury and defiance. But Brock Lesnar wasn't just fighting, he was demolishing. Witnesses later described hearing a thunderous crack, the sound of Lesnar's knee smashing into Reed's gut, bending the man in half as if he were a fragile twig. The impact echoed like a sledgehammer striking wood. Beyond brutality, the aftermath of the attack. But Lesnar's rampage wasn't over. Far from it. Witnesses say Brock dragged Bronson Reed up by the neck like a ragdoll and slammed him against a concrete wall with such force the entire backstage area seemed to shudder. The vibration could reportedly be felt through the floorboards. Security personnel rushed in to try and restrain the beast, but Lesnar, laughing and roaring with a frightening intensity, tossed them aside as if they were mere insects. It was a display of pure dominance and rage that stunned everyone into silence. Bronson Reed is no lightweight. Towering over 330 pounds of solid muscle, the man who calls himself the Colossal looked helpless, dwarfed by Lesnar's ferocity. One F5 wasn't enough for Brock. No, he delivered two more devastating power moves. One slammed Reed onto the unforgiving concrete floor, the other onto a stack of heavy road cases. Reed's body went limp, motionless, a haunting sight as WWE officials frantically called for medical assistance. The fallout, social media explodes and the WWE Universe reacts. Though the attack happened out of the public eye, the moment quickly leaked. Cell phone footage taken by someone backstage quickly went viral, flooding social media with millions of views within minutes. Fans across the globe watched in horror and disbelief, sharing, debating, and demanding answers. Why did Brock Lesnar come back with such a violent statement? And why did he specifically target Bronson Reed? Rumors quickly spread backstage that Reed had been talking. Confident, even cocky, Reed allegedly claimed he was the new monster of WWE, dismissing Lesnar as washed up, retired, and unable to hang with today's generation of wrestlers. For anyone familiar with Brock's persona, those comments are essentially an open challenge, and likely a direct invitation for Lesnar to remind everyone who truly rules the WWE jungle. A calculated move or pure chaos. Inside the WWE's silence. The silence from WWE officials has been deafening. No statements, no disciplinary actions, no fines, nothing. It's almost as if the company expected this. Almost as if someone sanctioned Brock Lesnar to make this brutal comeback. Whispers among insiders suggest this attack wasn't random or spontaneous. It might be the beginning of a much larger storyline. Some believe it was a test. A harsh proving ground orchestrated by WWE leadership to see if Bronson Reed could withstand the real heat of competition. Could Triple H be behind the scenes, pulling the strings? The man who's been shaping WWE's future may have orchestrated Lesnar's violent return to shake things up. to inject chaos and danger back into the company and set the stage for a high-stakes rivalry. The price of ambition, Bronson Reed's injuries, and the road ahead. The aftermath of the brutal backstage confrontation between Brock Lesnar and Bronson Reed has cast a long shadow over WWE's locker room and its fan base. What was initially a shocking burst of violence has since revealed a grimmer reality, one that puts Bronson Reed's career and health in serious jeopardy. According to reliable sources close to WWE's medical team, the extent of Bronson Reed's injuries is severe. After enduring multiple F5s, Brock Lesnar's signature finishing move, delivered on unforgiving concrete and steel equipment, Reed sustained several fractured ribs, a possible dislocated shoulder, and severe trauma to his spine. These are not minor injuries. They are the kind that demand immediate, long-term medical attention and can alter the trajectory of any athlete's career. The image of the Colossal, a man once brimming with untapped potential and poised to become one of WWE's most dominant forces, lying motionless and strapped to a neck brace, is heart-wrenching. For many fans and fellow wrestlers, the sight was almost surreal. A leaked video surfaced, showing Reed's wife and close friends in the arena, their faces pale with shock and filled with tears as they watched medics rush to attend to him. It was a powerful, emotional reminder that beyond the spectacle of wrestling, these superstars are human beings facing real pain and uncertainty. The divided WWE universe, fans and locker room reactions. In the wake of the attack, the WWE universe is polarized. Social media platforms, wrestling forums, and locker rooms are buzzing with heated debates, many sharply divided on how to interpret Brock Lesnar's shocking assault on Bronson Reed. On one side are the outraged fans who see Lesnar's actions as reckless, dangerous, and utterly unacceptable. For them, what transpired backstage was not just a moment of passion or a storyline gone too far, but a violent attack that endangered the health and career of a rising star. These fans have been vocal in demanding that WWE take serious disciplinary action against Lesnar, be it a suspension, a fine, or even an outright ban from the company. They argue that no superstar, regardless of their stature, should be allowed to operate outside the bounds of professionalism and safety. Final thoughts. Did Brock Lesnar cross the line? So where does that leave us? Did Brock Lesnar truly cross a line with his brutal backstage attack on Bronson Reed? Was his unprovoked assault an unprofessional and dangerous overreach, putting a fellow wrestler's career at risk? Or, alternatively, did Bronson Reed get what some would argue was a warranted response for talking big and threatening the throne? There are layers to this story that go beyond simple black and white judgments. On one hand, Reed's reported backstage comments about being the new monster of WWE could be seen as provocative, challenging a legend who has long been considered the pinnacle of dominance. For Brock Lesnar, whose identity is built on being the ultimate predator in the WWE ecosystem, those comments might have been the spark that ignited his fury. On the other hand, violence of this magnitude, especially outside of sanctioned matches and storylines, crosses into dangerous territory. The safety and well-being of wrestlers should always be paramount, and no one should be allowed to settle grudges with potentially career-ending brutality behind the scenes.